This is the unexpected thing which I thought would never happen to me. When I got sober, I became a profitable entrepreneur on my first attempt, which is quite unheard of. If you're someone who's not extremely ambitious and driven, then this video isn't going to resonate with you, so you should probably click off now. But for those of you who are intrigued, all will be revealed, so keep watching. Coming from a construction background, working as an electrician, the thought of becoming an entrepreneur online was never a thought that crossed my mind, or never something I thought was possible for me to do. Now, being 4 years sober, it basically unlocked the curiosity part of my brain. As soon as I got sober, I went for the personal development content. I read my first ever book. I started listening to audiobooks, self-development podcasts, and there was just this inner conversation in my mind that just said, Ben, when are you going to demand the best for yourself? Why are you always just settling for just good enough? You're 30 years of age, you don't have the car you want, you don't have the relationship you want, you're definitely not living in the apartment that you want. When are you going to say enough is enough and go out there and get what you want? Maybe it was by chance that I went down this route, or maybe it was because I got sober. Now, I personally think it's the latter. Now, sobriety doesn't bring success, but what it does do is provide you with the tools that you need to go out there and get success. It gives you time, it gives you energy, and it gives you clarity, and it gives you space away from all the negative, self-destructive habits that you would personally indulge in the past. Now, from a young age, I was always knocking on people's doors, washing their cars, cutting their lawns, going to school, selling chew bars for 100% profit. So I believe myself that I always wanted to be a self-sufficient man, and I didn't want to work for anyone else. I always wanted to be able to have the ability to make it rain when I wanted to. So getting sober just reignited that creative desire for success that I had when we were young. Think about it this way. When we go to school and we don't drink and we don't take drugs and we don't smoke, from the ages to say like 8 to 16, we're playing football, we're building dens, depends how old you are, but we're always like building something, we're exploring woods, we're going for bike rides, we're doing all these things. And then it's like, as soon as we leave school, we find alcohol, we find women, we find drugs, and then we stop doing sports, we stop building things, we stop exploring, and then we just spend all our weekend just going out, getting on the piss, recovering, eating bad food, sometimes even getting into fights. We just go to a job, we get paid, we live for the weekend, and that's it. This is actually how I stumbled across the opportunity to build an online business. I was actually at a kickboxing gym, and I'd made friends with this guy called Mitch. Now, I asked Mitch if he wanted to stay back and do jiu-jitsu, but he said he had orders to fulfill with his online Shopify business. Now, I quizzed him on this. I asked him what he was selling. He had a pet store. He told me that he was making profit. Long story short, with my sober, curious mind, I basically just went home that night, opened a Shopify store, and the journey started. Now, make no mistake, this wasn't an easy journey. Now, previously, I'd only had a laptop for about 8 months, so I was not computer savvy. I was typing with one finger. I had no idea how to save files. Long story short, I was hopeless on a computer. It took me 9 months of every evening, every weekend, when I wasn't at my day job, just plugging away, working, getting to grips with the computer, and actually learning how to run an online store. 9 months came, I was sitting there one night and I was just thinking, this isn't working. I was defaulting to old Ben ways. Previously, I would have just stopped, but I just had something inside me, this little nagging feeling that was saying, come on, just try one more thing. That one more thing was me testing an AirTag cat collar. It was a collar with an AirTag holder, so when people let their cats out, they can track their cat and it doesn't get lost. I put that ad out, I think, on a Thursday night, and the next day sales started coming in. 3 months down the line, I had done over $250,000 in revenue, with a healthy part of that being profit. Now, I'm not saying being sober actually helped me become an online genius, because I'm certainly not that. But what it did do, it provided me with the energy, as I've said before, and the perseverance for me to be able to believe in myself and keep on going when things aren't going my way. Now, the reason I am sharing this with you today is because until you actually go sober and give yourself at least 3 months of just being alcohol and drug free. Now, for some of you, you may actually be successful already. You may own businesses, you may own property, you may have a really, really good job. But I bet you any money, there's that one part of you that thinks, if I didn't go out on the weekend and I didn't drink, or I didn't sometimes participate in drug use, I could be a lot further than where I am at the moment. Now, this is not me preaching to you saying that you should stop drinking. I'll let you come to your own conclusion whether it is holding you back or not. But what I am saying for sure, it's definitely hard to have the energy to tackle big problems, let alone become innovators, when we are constantly pouring all our energy and time into drinking and recovering. Now, if you are struggling with controlling your drinking, or even sometimes drug use, I'm over 4 years sober. I did this without the help of AA. I know the blueprint, I know how to do it, I know the challenges that come along on the journey. So if you are struggling, if you look in the description, you'll see a link to my free training video, and below it, there's an option to book a free 15-minute call to see if I can help you further. If I can't help you, you get a free coaching call. If I can, then we can help get your life back on track.